so I can see if anybody talks. Oh. There we go. Grab me a drink. All right. Hello, hello, hello. So this is the page that I'm working on today. And what I'm going to do to get started is I'm actually going to grab 2 of the number 5 Tim Holtz tags because I'm doing the entire page and both tags front and back in the Dylusions Black Marble. So let's do that really quick. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shaz. I apologize. I was waiting for my oldest little to come and collect the baby. And I'm so sorry your baby didn't pass the driving test. Aww. I hope everything else is good with you and you go get some rest. Maybe you can cheer her up a little bit. Oh, goodness me. Over here just making messes. Oi. Alright, let's get a new one. Oh my. It's getting all over my fingers. Goodness. Okay, sorry. I had to clean my fingers off. Let's try this again. Oh my. Hi, Silky. Life is wonderful. How about you? And hello, Wild Potatoes. How are you both doing this evening? Or today, I guess? I'm glad to hear it, Silky. Okay. Now, clean up the mess I made. And then I can start sticking some pretty images on. Set those aside. All right, now I think I ended up using, I don't know, 12 or 13 different stamp sets because I am going to be doing a Alice in Wonderland theme page. So let me see if I can remember what each ones are from. I have got, I know that this is from Special Branch. I've stamped out the individual one 2 or 3 times. 3. And then the big one twice. And I think I want to go somewhere along there with that one. And this one maybe down this. Possibly fill in that little gap right there with the broken one. And then one of these up here. And one of these maybe down here. And this one possibly somewhere over here, but I'm not sure because I'm going to have a big image cover it up. And then what I have the, oh my, let's see, from Toadstool Town, I've got these two, the big and the small mushrooms. And I think I want to like kind of angle it a little off of the little stem here. Something along those lines. From Glorious Blooms, these are all Dylusion sets, by the way. I have these. And I reckon I want one to go somewhere over here. This is just to like fill in the outer edges, kind of. And maybe somewhere down here for this one, possibly. May have to adjust a little. And then from the, oh, I got this one from Paper Doll, or Paper Dolls, I think. It might be Paper Doll. It's going to go over here, but it's going to be a part of a bigger piece that I'm going to connect together and make it a tuck. Because I also have from Cat Among the Pigeons, I've got this kitty cat that I love. He's going to go somewhere in there. I'm not sure where. And from the Drink Me set, I have a few images. I've got the hat, which is going to go down here somewhere. And then I have a cupcake that says Eat Me and a drink bottle that says Drink Me, which I'm thinking I'm going to end up putting them somewhere like this. Okay. And then from the Fancy Cuppa, I just have this teacup. And I want it to go over here, kind of angled. Something like that. And from Tea Time Treats, this is a part of the like border one. I stamped those out. Well, this one. I already had that one, so that's what gave me the idea for this. I'll put him right there. Now for the body, I have, let's see, I've got this body from the Dinky Dolls set 1. And then from the It's Not Tuesday, I have the large head, which I think is so cute with her. And I actually think that she kind of reminded me of Alice in the Wonderland. So I was like, okay, she'll work. And then I want this teapot to go in her hands. And from the Dinky Doll set 4, I stamped out 2 of the little bows. I'm just going to get a bow on each end of her piggy tails. And then from the Dinky Dolls, let's see, which set would this one be? I think it's set 3 is the little crown, because I thought, why not? It just looks silly, so why not? And lastly, I have from the Passage of Time, the little clock. And I think, because this one's going to be a tuck, I think I'm going to put it up here at the top of a tag. But we'll get to that part. What I first need to do is I need to color my images in, and then I can start putting everything together. But that's it, kind of layout. All right, let's see here. And my plan is to do it with more pastel colors, which is kind of like this. So let's get that going. I hope everyone has been having a really, really, really good week thus far. For us, this is the middle of the week, and we couldn't be more excited. All right. For the leaves, what I'm going to do, let me move some of this stuff out of the way, because I'm going to do them all the same. And I think, if I'm not much mistaken, that that's actually cut grass. So I just grabbed a cut grass and get me some out, and very lightly add water with it, and just very, very, very messily go in and color over them. Yep, I reckon it is. One of these days I'm going to purchase me a whole nother set of the water brushes and just have them already diluted. Might make it a bit quicker for me. Although I do like the variation in colors. Sometimes it's darker, sometimes it's lighter. Unpredictable, but lovely. Okay. put some up just to kind of edge them a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to take the starter and go straight down the stems. Set that aside. Oh my, there's a lot to color. All right. Becky, I am trying to make it where I can go live every week. I know that I'll be live again this Saturday. Well, for me, that's in 3 days. But I just started doing lives, so that way I could interact as much as I could with everyone. I guess the benefits to the doing the videos and editing them is the editing. It's a lot quicker of a process as far as the coloring up all the images and sticking them on. All right. Alright, a couple more with those, and then we can color the other images. Okay. Now, let me clean up that so I don't get green everywhere else. Alright, now for her, I'm going to be using lemon zest and calypso teal, but they're going to be very, very diluted. Alright. All right. Oh, darn it. I meant to do her bows blue too. There we go. Oh, sorry. It's always, I don't understand why it always does that. Okay, we're back, I think. Now I'm going to set these aside and hand me these items. Okay. Give me purple, I think. Maybe. I feel like I want to. I don't know if I want a purple hat with a green sash or a green hat with a purple sash. I don't know. Right. And then, because I need to pull some, there's going to be blue on the right hand side. I need to do a couple things in blue on the left hand side too. And I think one of them is going to be this cup. Alright. That's dry enough. Now I can add my green. Alright. Set that aside. And then I have the, I don't know if I like the purple teacup on there. Might have to do a different one over there. Or possibly grab another. Alright, now these things and my little kitty cat. What am I going to do with you? I kind of like the idea of him being black and white. Except for his shoes, of course. And maybe his belly. Let me see. Let's put some... No, I actually like it like that, I think. I think for his belly I'm just going to go green. Actually, no I won't, because there's going to be a lot of green on here. I'll do these really quick. And then I have this one here. Oh my. I could have just stuck everything on and then colored it. but that probably would have been a little bit easier. Just like to make things harder for myself, I guess. Okay. Alright. I reckon that's most of the green stuff that I'm gonna do. My mushrooms, what color do I want them? Perhaps. I don't know. Let me just see, get an idea here. I don't want anything to like blend into something else. So I'm just gonna lay these out and see what I'm working with. Do I want to move these back here maybe? Okay. I reckon I'm gonna do the big one in purple and the little one in blue. Alright. There we are. got those. Now, what else? What else? What else? We're almost done coloring. Okay. Now this. What color? I'll do that color last. Alright, these little things. Very quickly. Actually, I don't have to do those just yet either. So, I think the only other thing I gotta worry about is her crown, and I reckon she's gonna have a blue crown because that's what I have here. There we go. I think. Okay. I might give him a purple eye and a green eye, actually. There we go. Alright, now I need to get the pieces that I've got to put onto separate places, which is this, and this is, oh, I need to do something to the door. Here's an idea. I'm gonna grab these. I don't know if I really want to go brown because there's nothing else brown on this page, but I can put it somewhere else, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. Okay. Now it looks kind of messy, but it's alright. What I'll do is I'll just go in and make, I don't want to do lines. It's still kind of wet though. That might play to my advantage. know if I much like it, actually. We'll see. Okay, let's see what we got here. The cat, the hat. I'm just going to be covering up most of it. I'll bring my book over so I know I have room for what I'm going to do. And the teacup. That's what I was afraid of. Okay. Cat's going to have to go more that way. And the hat, and then the teacup. Can kind of stick out over the edge here, maybe. I just want to make sure that it's not going to go over past this center crease here. And then, I don't know where the other teacup went that I painted up, or colored up, right here. Alright. So these things, what I have to do is take them and stick them onto another piece of my cardstock, because I'm going to make them into a tuck spot, and I don't want them, or it's hard to make. I really can't do a good tuck spot with it not being all together, I guess. So let me see. I have my book over here. Make sure, okay, something along those lines will be alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an ink pen, and I'm just going to kind of outline edge here on this one, and over here, up here, and down here. That way I know to stay within that little area of everything. So I'm going to start sticking those things on. And I need to start with the one in the very, very back. And it just so happens to have no tape on. That's alright. Just a few pieces here and there, it'll be alright. Okay. I don't think any of these have tape on, so let me just put tape on all these things really quick. That way it's easier down the road. Oh, that one does. This one doesn't. Alright, now let me put this one on. Since I did brown in the background on this one, I'll have to add a little bit of brown to the other side to balance it out. But I'll figure it out. Okay, there's my top mark and my bottom mark and my side mark. Okay. And then a little kitty, I think, could go there. That. And my teacup. Okay, let's see. I think it was more like that. So this guy goes next. And then the cat. And hat. All right. And then I could even put the tea picture over here, I guess. No, I think I like it better up here. Yep. All right. There's those. Put the glue up really quick. Oh, darn it. And cut around it. Okay. That's not going to stay down. I'm going to glue it more. Make sure it's going to fit. Yep. All right. Now I have successfully created a lovely tuck for this corner. Okay, and because there is one more thing It's going to take a little bit more time before I start sticking everything down. I'm going to do it next. What I have is, this is a piece of the black cardstock from the Black Dylusions Diary. And that is what I'm going to put her on, because I'm going to make her into a belly band. So I put some tape all over the backs of everything, stick it on, same process, and then I'll cut it out. Oy. All right. Now, I know the body goes first. I didn't glue everywhere. There we go. Stick it right down. Okay. And then the head. Oi. Her little crown. Hello, Stella's Star Channel. How are you? I'm going to put it right at her little bangs area. Oi. There we go. Oh, goodness, that's a lot of glue. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take my white Posca paint pen and outliner. Mm-hmm. And the black to go over the areas where they're overlapping. There we go. And now to cut her out, same process pretty much. Just cut right along the edge. Except like right here and right here, that's too finicky. I can go in with my little knife if I wanted to, my finger blade, but I'm just going to go over to the edge because the background is black. You'll never notice the difference. All right. There we go. Now I can start sticking down everything in the background. Which will be, I'm going to start with the leaves. There. Where'd that little one go that I had right here? Something along these lines. And then that one there, but I don't want it to overlap over onto this page, so we'll just do that. And I can go back there. Oh, this one can actually probably go underneath here like so. And look like it's just added onto that little piece there. And I'm not sure about that one yet. Okay, so I'm going to stick my leaves on first. What happened there, I wonder? All right. Oh, goodness. I thought I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I guess not. Darn it. Okay. This should be the quicker part, I think. It's already been a very long live. Oh my. Well. One of my neighbor's dogs are going crazy. There we are. Now over here really quick. No. There we go. Okay. Hi. If I wasn't so darn finicky about not wanting these books to fall apart, I wouldn't use as much tape, and that might make it a little bit quicker, but I don't really want them to fall apart. Especially since there's other images going on top of these. Okay, let's see. I can probably place that somewhere like that. Something along these lines. Right up to the edge there. Okay. Why is it freezing? That is so weird. I don't understand. We had rain earlier, but I wouldn't imagine. If the weather was going to be the reason for the internet being crappy, it would have been earlier, not right now. I would have thought, at least. Okay. This is going to hang off the page a bit, that way. And then this is going to go down, and I might actually bring this one around and over to here, possibly. Just like that. There we go. All right. Now let's get these put down where they go, which is somewhere like that, I think. Let me grab my thing. Yep. I think I determined it to be something like that. And then, do I want to add these on there? I mean, I can. They're not exactly needed, because once I put her over here, I don't know if I'll actually use those or not. I need to cut those off really quick, because they're gonna end up ripping the whole thing off if I don't. I just want to allow the glue to have some time to dry before I took my scissors to them. There we go. Actually, I gotta stick that one right there. All right. Now to do this into a tuck spot, I'm gonna need one of my tags. And I think against how I want this to be up top, like so. I'm going to do it at an angle instead of straight up and down. So when the tag's not in, you can see the little mushroom, but when it's in, you won't see it. So I'm going to put it about where I want it. Make sure I've got room to top and bottom here to do what or you know, where they won't go off the page. Pick it up, mark my areas. Outline the tag pretty much. And then I'm going to put double-sided tape along here, but I'm going to leave me a little bit of room on the outer edge of my tag. And because this is holding on so much, I need to put a good amount of tape on. All right. Yep. And I'm just going to put glue on top of where I put the tape down. All the way up to the edges. There we are. Pick it up. And stick it on. Just like that. Give it a good press. Grab a tag. And make sure to go in there. There we go. That's fine. And then for the sake of the fact that my camera is almost, battery is almost dead, dead, you know, it's going away, I'm going to go ahead and get, how do I want to do this? Let me see. Do I want to put leaves under her? Like this? Maybe. Or do I want to put her on and then put some leaves? Actually, I think I might do it that way. So this, I'm going to make a belly band. And I stuck it onto some cardstock. I'm going to put my tag that I'm going to use back here. It's going to be a small little tag. You're hardly going to notice it. And I'm just going to mark those two areas there and up top, because we're just going to put tape and glue at the very bottom and the very top. I could go up a little bit. Leave yourself a little bit of wiggle room on both top and bottom. There we go. And I think I'll just put these over her little legs, so that'll be all right. Oh, but do I want anything else down there? Probably not. Glue there and glue up here where the tape is. And pick it up. And pick where you want her to go. Let me check one thing. Do I want that back there? I don't think I do. I don't think I like it that much. And I'm just going to stick her on like that. Right there and right there. And now I have a place to tuck a tag behind. Like that. Now to put this up here, I'm just going to put it where I want it. Flip it over, same process. Mark it. And only put tape down here on the bottom. And glue. All right, now shove that over there for a moment and decide how I want these to go. I could bring it from there, but I'd have to cut it right there. Or I could just, actually, we could just rip this one off really quick. Do that. And then stick that one up there. That would work. Let's do that. Okay. Glue everywhere. Bring it over here. Stick it something like, oh, this maybe. Might actually just take this one off too. Rip that off and stick it up here like that. There we go. And this little bitty one here could go, I could save it for another day actually. It won't hurt anything. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, I was gonna put a little teapot in her hand. to add something over here. Do I even want to put these on? Let's see. Just getting an idea whether I'm actually going to like the idea of it back there. It's okay. Not my favorite. I think I'm not going to, actually. So now I just got to cut the edges, along the edges, and then outline everything with my white Posca paint pen. The only thing I will not be outlining